Hello everyone, this is the Prussian Prince with another Total War Attila tournament match cast. This is the bronze match of the Wolf Birthday Flash tournament. A best of 3 between Diplomatt of Wolf Clan and Orgetorix of Agartha. Let's hit slow motion and look at some statistics. Well, not stats, I mean builds. Anyway, in the first game we have Diplomatt as the Geats and Orgetorix as the Langobards. Let's go over the Geats first. We have the Nordic Warlord General with Brace. Then we see, indeed, 6 Nordic Horse Lords. A bunch of Slingers, actually, looks like 4 Nordic Hurlers. Not a bad amount at all. They're quite nice units. Looks like we have a Herdman Bronze 2 on each flank and a lot of axes. Also another Herdman in the center by the Nordic Warlord General, Bronze 1. Let's see how many axes. We have 6 Nordic Axe Warriors, so just a lot of axes. Not a bad choice at all. Now for the Langobards, what do we have? Well, where's the General? Here we have the General Redoubtable Chieftain, Bronze 2. We have on the left flank a Noble Germanic Horseman with a Germanic Lancer. Noble Germanic Horseman is Bronze 1. On the right, basically the same thing. Now, kind of like center left, center right, we have 2 Noble Germanic Horsemen, Bronze 1 in total. So it looks like there's 4 of those in total with 2 Germanic Lancers. That's the cap contingent. Now we have a Gunnansman with a Horse Hewer on the right. Same thing on the left. Behind the General, another Gunnansman. And up front, a bunch of scaled clubmen, it seems. 3, 4, 5 scaled clubmen. Very, very interesting. Looks like only 3 Germanic Hurlers brought to the field here by Orgetorix. Yeah, sorry, I was confused. Diplomatt is the Geats. So yeah, let's watch this battle start. But again, skirmishing advantage definitely going to the Geats here. And they also have, I would say, stronger cavalry overall, because Germanic Lancers cannot stand up to the Nordic Horse Lords. And of course the infantry contingent is, well, even though not as numerous as the Langobard one in terms of numbers, the Axe Warriors definitely going to do very well against Scaled Clubmen and Horse Hewers and the like. So we'll see how this one goes. These Scaled Clubmen are going to be very annoying for the Geats to deal with. I mean, they're just gonna park up here and there's nothing you can do. I mean, if you shoot them, good luck, because shooting them is gonna do almost nothing. I mean, let's look at their statistics. So as you can see, excellent missile block chance. Then they have, I mean, just look at this. 68 armor and 147 health. Like, that unit is just insanely tanky against missiles. Good luck shooting them. That's all I say. I mean, you're not gonna do too much. This Germanic Hurler, not quite sure what it has been firing at. Looks like this Nordic Hurler. This Nordic Hurler has lost a lot of men. But now we have the Axis pulling back for the Geats right now. Very good move. These Germanic Hurlers, I don't know what they're actually targeting, because they are using precision shot, I think. Yeah, they're targeting another Nordic Hurler, it seems. But these clubmen, looks like they're advancing forward in shield wall. Like, this must be so frustrating for the Geats to deal with right now. I mean, because there's so little that he can do against these scaled clubmen. If he charges in, he's going to get countercharged by the Ostrogoths cavalry. But we'll see. He might actually try and catch the Ostrogoths out of position. Looks like he's actually going to go for the scaled clubmen, but the scaled clubmen are in shield wall. So kind of charging through his own men, though, is the Langobard player here. And I don't know why I said Ostrogoths, I mean Langobards. So this is kind of weird, but the clubmen do take charges very well, though, considering considering their armor and health. They should be. Nice charge here by the Noble Germanic Horseman, and this Germanic Lancer getting into the axes. Lots of damage done here. These axes getting into scaled clubmen, though, should do a lot of work. Same thing here. Here come the Germanic Lancers. I don't know if they got a charge off. I'm not sure. I think they may have. But anyway, still Nordic Horse Lord's going to win here. Oh, very nice charge. Actually getting into the Horse Stewards as well and killing a lot of them, almost 20 of them. Now they're going to get focused. Axe Warriors coming in. On the left, though, as you can see here, the Axe Warrior died. But there's more Axe Warriors. There's more Nordic Warriors. Nordic Axe Warriors. And here's the General of the Geats. Brace should be popped soon here or here. Somewhere. This Nordic Horse Lord going to trade okay against Noble Germanic Horseman. Nordic Axe Warrior is going to chop down the Noble Germanic Horseman there. More Slingers here targeting the Noble Germanic Horsemen of the Langobards. This is not a bad choice at all, actually. Stopping them and slowing them down. On this flank, as you can see, clear win here for the Geats. They're going to be pushing through. Here comes the Noble Germanic Horsemen in wedge formation, is it? Or is it diamond? I believe it's diamond. Yes, it is. They're going to go for a charge, but the charge kind of gets stopped, and now very nice charge by the Nordic Horse Lords here. But the axes are going to end up dying to these Godensmen. I mean, the Godensmen are very, very strong units. Still, hurlers shooting into the rear of these Noble Germanic Horsemen, just doing so much damage. Here, very nicely done here by these Nordic Horse Lords, destroying the Noble Germanic Horseman. This Noble Germanic Horseman is going to die. We have the Nordic Horse Lords here routing. I guess there was no headhunt being popped there. The General should be pulled out here for the Geats, because he's not going to do too well. But I mean, it doesn't matter. These units have lost a lot of men. Need to see... This Axe Warrior has not popped Frenzy, I think. And here, nice headhunt by this Horse Lord is going to get into these hurlers. And actually, the headhunt expires and the Nordic Horse Lord just routes off the field. That's not great. This engagement, though, clearly going well for... Ooh, what is happening here for the Geats on the right flank? But here, it's kind of looking odd. This Axe Warrior does rout, but the Nordic Warlord is the last unit to survive and should be able to make sure that these units shatter, because if they shatter, that's going to be great for the Geats. These axes here going to do fairly well against the Godensmen. Over here, though, the Herdmen going to do not so well against Scaled Clubmen. This engagement here, Herdmen, actually axes against Scaled Clubmen should go fine for the axes. As you can see, the Geats pushing through on the left. More Axe Warriors coming into these Godensmen. Maybe a Nordic Horse Lord charge is just going to destroy this... Nordic Horse Lord charge is just going to destroy this Godensman. I don't know why the Horse Lord is not charging in there. This Horse Lord should come back. Very nice. Here the Axe Warrior came back for the Geats as well. So as you can see, the Geats are not doing too terribly in this game. They're doing quite fine. But there's a lot of units for the Langobards left on the field in the center. All these Scaled Clubmen that are doing... They're tanking out very well here. And the Horse Lords honestly can pull out against Scaled Clubmen, because Scaled Clubmen cannot really kill heavy cavalry. They just do way too little damage to them. So you can easily pull out Horse Lords against Clubmen. That is one advantage that the horses heavy cav have against the Clubmen. But now they're going to get bogged down, and they're actually going to get killed here by the Godensmen. So that's not good at all for the Geats. This Horse Lord came back, though. Could be very important to be used. Still more cavalry left on the field for the Geats, but the Geats are not really doing too much with the cavalry right now. They could be just recharging all these Godensmen and just knock them off the field. Just a lot of units still on the field here for the Geats. I don't know what they're doing. They're not actually doing anything. Still plenty of Horse Lords left. But now the Geats have waited too long, and their units have routed off the field. If these cavalry units were here earlier going for rear charges, it would have been fairly easy win, though, I think, for the Geats. Well, not easy, but I think he would have been able to just crush all these units. Now he's going to go for a charge onto the Redoubtable Chieftain, but not the best charge, as the Slinger kind of stops a bit of that charge. And the Axe unit does come in here and is going to do a lot of damage to those units. Still Horse Lords on the field, but the Herdmen do rout off the field. This charge, I mean, it's going to do a lot of damage, but, I mean, it's a Clubman, so it's not actually going to do that much damage, because, as you can see, the armor is great. Not the best charges here by the Geats. I mean, he needs to get into the rear of the Scaled Clubman. That's what he needs to do. He's going to try and flank this unit, which is great. And again, this charge... He actually makes it into the rear of the Clubman, though, because the Clubman was facing this way, so he does route that unit very nicely. But still, there are a decent chunk of Langobard units still on the field. He's going to be able to just surround and kill off this Clubman without a problem. Now he's going to get actually a frontal charge into these Clubmen, but I don't think that is the best choice. He does actually get into the Godhuntsman and does a lot of damage and does allow his axes to come into the fight as well. This is very good for the Geats, but I mean, this cav unit is not here. These slingers are not participating in the fight. This Horse Lord is still not being sent in from behind. This Scaled Clubman sadly not routing, and the Herdman did rout. Though looks like we need to see a Nordic Horse Lord charge or something into the rear of these units before it's too late. But the general of the Geats did very well. And I mean, this unit just charged way too late into the fight here. It charged right after the units over here in the front died. So that's not good for the Geats. This unit is going to get routed pretty easily. It is a Scaled Clubman, but now as it gets rear charged, it should rout out the field. There it goes. We have still these hurlers. I don't know why they're not trying to go into the fight just to buffer. We need to see Headhunt popped on this Horse Lord. I wonder if it does actually have Headhunt. It should, but it looks like no, the unit does rout off the field. This is not good for the Geats, but still 3 units left on the field for the Langobards. Headhunt popped on this Nordic Horse Lord. But this means the Headhunt will not be able to be used in the fight. And I mean, it was wavering, yes, but 4 morale is just so close. Oh, this Herdman actually routes off the field for the Geats, and now this cavalry should also rout. Pulling out the Horse Lord, but means it's gonna lose a lot of men, and the Headhunt is going to expire soon, I believe. So the charge has to be worth it against the Godhuntsman. It needs to charge in right now with the Horse Lord before it routes. Oh no, he's pulling it away, and the Horse Lord should actually rout, I believe. Yes, the morale is minus is too much. Should have charged in the Horse Lord into the Godhuntsman while he had the chance. Now this unit is probably going to rout after Headhunt expires. Not a good move by the Geats here. Should have just charged the Godhuntsman. I mean, the Godhuntsman was just... yeah, as you can see, it's now shattered. And with that shattering, I think there's a very slim chance for the Geats to actually win this game. But what a close game, though. I mean, there still is a chance, though. As long as these Godhuntsmen die, this is the important thing. The Godhuntsmen dying. They need to die. Because those are the damage-dealing units, for the most part. If he can get a very nice charge off with the Nordic Horse Lords against the Godhuntsmen, I mean, it would go very well for him, I think. So he needs, like... He needs to put, like, 1 cap here and 1 cap here to come from different angles. Then charge in and just do a lot of damage. This unit is still fatigued though. Looks like, yeah, the Geats do want to make sure that their units are fresh, because they don't want their units to actually rout. This morale is so low. Looks like this unit is just going to rout off the field soon. It has minus 11 morale, and it does rout off the field. This unit has 2 morale, barely 4 morale, 6 morale. But yeah, this unit routing is huge for the Geats, and I mean, just those cap charges that could have happened before the units routed could have won the game for the Geats here, but that was not to be the case. Still a lot of men left for the Langobards. I mean, this Redoubtable Chieftain, 63 men, could be using Shield Wall, but it's not actually using Shield Wall. Kind of looks like it due to the formation. This one is not. And this Godhuntsman here is... and this is weird. It does not show that this Redoubtable Chieftain is in Shield Wall, even though it kind of clearly looks like it. This Godhuntsman, though, is actually now kind of... can get charged, but the thing is, there is no cav left on that side. There's only this cav unit, but if this cav unit charges, it's just going to get into the Godhuntsman. I mean, it's going to get into the Scaled Clubman or Redoubtable Chieftain, which means the damage is not going to... the damage dealt by the charge is not going to be great. And I don't know what the Geats are doing, because the balance of power is not in their favor. He needs to actually engage this blob of infantry units for the Langobards at some point. But the Godhuntsmen are in a nice position here, getting protected. I mean, these hurlers can serve as a nice meat shield for the Geats. I mean, it's all about this cav charge. If it just like connects with the rear of all these units, like for instance, if it charges in like this, hits the rear of this unit and then this unit, and also hits the Godhuntsman, that's going to do a lot of damage, and it might actually give the game to the Geats if that's to be the case. But looks like it's This unit might just rout before it actually gets into the fight. Who knows? Because it barely has any morale. Headhunt activated. Here we go. So the charge is massive and is going to do a lot of damage. The initial impact damage is huge here. Look at the kills on this Horse Lord. Just getting high very quickly. More engagements happening here. The Routable Chieftain is wavering. More units pouring in for the Geats. These hurlers coming in. The general is routed off the field for the Geats, but so is actually the... Looks like the cav of the Geats routed off the field, but I don't know what the Warlord is doing here. This is kind of weird. Should have gone in and shield wall maybe. Not sure. And there is no brace popped as well, from what I can tell. So now it's just gonna turn around for, and looks like indeed the Langobards are going to take this very, very close game. So all the units route off the field for the Geats, but what a close game by both players here. Very, very entertaining. Still, some of those Horse Lords near the end, they could have definitely just charged the Godhuntsmen and killed them before they routed off the field. That was a very, very strange mistake there by Diplomatt, but anyway, that is game 1. See you in game 2. Match point for Orgetorix. It's game 2 of the match between Diplomatt of Wolf and Orgetorix of Agartha. Again, match point for Orgetorix, so this is very important for Diplomatt. He has to win this if he wants to win the bronze match. In terms of the factions though, we have, let's see, we have Diplomatt playing as the Ostrogoths, and Orgetorix is the Saxons. So let's see. Here for the Ostrogoths, we have the Germanic nobles general with brace. Then in terms of cavalry, we have, looks like 5 noble Germanic horsemen, bronze, a mix of bronze 1 and bronze 2. Looks like 3 bronze 1 and 2 bronze, no, 4 bronze 1 and 1 bronze 2. And then we see some Germanic lancers. It looks like one of them in the center of his contingent. A decent amount of bow units, though they are, looks like 3 Germanic bows and a Germanic hurler. So no archers. Very interesting choice indeed. We do have a lot of infantry units though. Let's see. How many Gothic warband in total? 3 on the left, 3 on the right. No, 2 on the right with some Thracian warriors. How many Thracian warriors actually? 3 Thracian warriors in the center with this Gothic Palatina defector. So interesting, interesting build for the Ostrogoths, but I don't really see this too often. We'll see if it's actually effective. Now for the Saxons, we have, as Simon and Chicks like to call this general, Chieftain G, with brace, bronze 3. Then we have, let's see, the cavalry contingent. Well, looks like 2 Nordic horse lords on each flank, supported by heroic cavalry. No upgrades on the cavalry whatsoever. Up front, we see 4 Nordic hurlers, and in the back, looks like 2 Nordic axe warriors on each flank. 2 Nordic skirmishers and 3 Hearthguard in the center. Interesting. We'll see how that pays off for the Saxons, if it does pay off. Here we have the Germanic bows moving up to the hurlers. Germanic bows here are just going to die very quickly to hurlers, especially as they're both moving into range just like this. So the closer you get to a unit, the more damage you're gonna do. So these hurlers are just going to do a lot of damage to these Germanic bows, but honestly he should be targeting the hurlers of the Ostrogoths, because those do a lot more damage more quickly than these crappy Germanic bows. So he should be targeting the hurlers. There's 1 hurler, so at least these 2 units should be targeting the hurler. It looks like that is indeed the case. No, actually, with this hurler is firing at this Germanic bow, isn't it? Yeah, looks like it. I think that's a mistake. Needs to be focusing that 1 hurler. But anyway, he's moving up very close. Is he going to try and focus the Germanic Lancer? Could be the case here. I think he is. And looks like the Ostrogoths are not reacting. Are we going to see some shots in the rear? Yes, we are. None of the Lancers do die, but HP damage was done to the unit. Very important. Now these skirmishers running away from the bows, but as you can see here, skirmish engagement went extremely well for the Saxons, and this is what they want. I mean, they basically nullified all these units, and this means that the skirmishers can do their bidding. But looks like the bows are targeting the skirmishers. There might be an engagement happening over here. These hurlers going into loose formation, and they're gonna start targeting the enemy noble Germanic horsemen or something. But these Germanic lancers already took some damage. Skirmishers getting focused right now. The Nordic skirmishers are actually moving on forward, but they're gonna take damage as they do that. These Hearthguard are in shield wall, so as they move forward, they're just gonna hold very nicely. More of these skirmishers going through, but kind of pulling through these bows, so they're gonna take some damage. This Nordic skirmisher looks like it's gonna get charged in melee by Germanic bows, but very nicely done here by the Saxons pulling away. This Germanic bow died in melee to hurlers, but now the Hearthguard are in position here, and the calf charge here is by this Germanic lancer is very, very awkward, because now this Nordic skirmisher is just going to drop this Germanic lancer to nothingness. And this Nordic skirmisher also here is going to do a lot of damage to these cav units. This is very weird by the Ostrogoths. The Slinger is going to make sure that all these units don't get their charges off. Okay, so now nicely done here, pulling back the cav, but these Nordic skirmishers did so much damage already to the enemy cavalry. Skirmishers over here using precision shot. I mean, if they focus this lancer, it's just going to die. I mean, it's already not really done too much to be worth it, that lancer. Kind of a waste, but this is a weird move. Saxons should be charging here. Looks like they are going to get the charges, but not the best. I mean, they could have gotten very good charges off on the Gothic Warband, still connecting with them, but I mean, if they charged earlier, they could have absolutely destroyed that Gothic Warband. It would have been an easy win for the Saxons on this flank, but it looks like it still might be with this axe support. This Nordic skirmisher kind of being mismicroed here, and is going to get charged in melee by Gothic Warband. This heroic cavalry just going around doing whatever it wants to, already killed off. Looks like a Thracian warrior. And now we're going to rear charge all these units and just potentially rout them off the field. This is a very bad engagement for the Ostrogoths. This is a very bad engagement for the Ostrogoths. This is a horrible engagement for the Ostrogoths. I really don't see how the Ostrogoths are going to pull this off. Here this heroic cavalry is going to go down. I mean, the javelins for the Saxons did very, very well. And the hurlers too did a decent job. I mean, I really liked how this battle went for a Saxon. It looks like they're just going to end up winning this game. Chieftain G moving up in shield wall in the center, just to be sure that nothing happens. So this noble Germanic horseman routes off the field. More of these units should be routing. A nice Nordic axe warrior charge here into these Germanic noble general. So the noble general is going to die very quickly. Hurlers trying to get engaged here into the fight. This Nordic horse lord going to die, as might this Nordic horse lord. But the thing is it going to actually matter, because so many units are left on the field right now for the Saxons on their left flank. These axes going to destroy the general of the Ostrogoths here, and that's not going to be a good thing at all. We'll just look at these axes chopping down these nobles. And here go the nobles, and with them, chances of victory for the Ostrogoths, as their whole army just chain routes off the field. Even this noble Germanic horseman with 50 men left is going to go off the field. And let's look at statistics. Well, Gothic Warband, I mean, they didn't do too terribly, but the Nordic skirmishers did a fantastic job this game, and this heroic cavalry just did so much damage with the rear charges. Even Hearthguards doing extremely well for themselves. I'm very impressed by them. This Germanic lancer, not worth it. Kind of wasted by the Ostrogoths, so couple of mistakes, just lost the Ostrogoths the game, I suppose, and this game was pretty decisive. Anyway, that means Orgetorix wins the bronze match 2-0, so I hope you all enjoyed. If you want to see more, don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, share the video, and I'll see you next time.